Hi friends, and welcome back to Gardening Suburbia. My name is Amanda and I'm a homesteader here in Cincinnati, Ohio, Zone 6. And today I need to check up on everything, but I realized it is officially mulberry season, which means everything in my backyard is covered in fresh, ripe mulberries, especially since the birds just flock in as soon as the mulberries start coming on the trees and they start picking things. The squirrels are all over. Everything is covered. I moved all of my green stock layers closer to where my sprinkler runs to get them watered, which also just so happens to be directly under the mulberry tree, which now means there is a nice layer of mulberries on top of every single one of those green stock tiers. And that just means there's gonna be so many volunteer mulberry trees, but I'm not gonna let that happen because I don't need any more mulberry trees. So I'm gonna have to hand pick those guys out. So, attack of the mulberries. I am currently walking through the garden and I'm realizing that the garlic right here is starting to send off the garlic scapes. So if you've ever grown garlic before, especially hardneck garlic, you're gonna know what I'm talking about when I say garlic scapes. Garlic scapes are like the most delicious extra special thing that you get from growing garlic, even though garlic as is already fantastic. It's just like this little extra something special. In this upper bed, I have two different varieties of garlic. I have the Zemo garlic, as well as another that I'm not quite remembering at the moment. But if you look closely, they're starting to get what we call garlic scapes. These are essentially just flower buds for the garlic. This is where the garlic will send off a beautiful plume of flowers if you let it. But because we are trying to grow heads of garlic, we need to go ahead and actually cut these guys off. I personally like to wait until they get a little loop-de-loop, like these two guys here, and then I will snip them off. I do need to grab some snippers to do that. There are a few in here, like this guy. He's starting, but he's not quite made that loop. So I'm gonna leave this to do its thing and make its final little loop. These guys are fantastic in so many numbers of dishes. So I personally like to dice them thinly and add them into like tacos or to top burgers, which I think is what we're gonna be doing tonight. They are fantastic. They taste the slightest hint of garlic without that super pungent flavor that you get with just raw garlic. It looks like the upper bed might be the only bed that has, no, there's a few down here, the start of some garlic scapes. Yeah. So this bed is the one I'm gonna look at, and then we've got a few in my main garlic bed, which I just have garlic everywhere. Which, thank you to Keene Garlic. They actually sent me garlic this last fall for me to plant so that I could make some content about it, which is super exciting to have that be my first partnership. Garlic, I love garlic. We got a good little handful of garlic scapes. There will be so many more. But since we have garlic scapes, I do want to mention that once your garlic, hardneck garlic, because hardneck is the only type of garlic that will send off garlic scapes, you want to stop fertilizing your garlic. Garlic is a very heavy nitrogen feeder, so I typically like to fertilize at least once a month around all of my garlic. Once I start seeing garlic scapes, I stop fertilizing because nitrogen fertilizer is for green growth, top growth, and since these guys are sending off their garlic scapes, that means it's time for those garlic plants to start putting all that energy to the garlic bulb. So now it's gonna be taking all that energy from the leaves and bring it to the bulb. So just a little note, if you're starting to see your garlic scapes, it's time to stop fertilizing. Beyond that, I actually need to get my butt into gear. I have all of those trays of tomatoes and peppers that need planted. I have no clue where I'm putting any of them. And it feels like the middle of summer right now. It is so stinking hot outside. So I'm going to get my butt sat down. I'm going to sketch out the layout of my garden, and I'm going to see if I can figure out where I'm putting things, how many I have of what I have of what, because I don't even know what I have. And we're gonna try to figure out where things are going so I can get stuff in the ground. Yeah, it's gardening season, guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. If you have some garlic, I hope that your scapes are going strong. If you have hard neck, you have soft neck, I hope your garlic looks great. If you guys have any questions about growing garlic, pop them down in the box below and just see if I can answer any of your questions. I am a little thrown back by how many views my last video got. I know, probably shouldn't talk about it, but it's a little wild. It's the most viewed video I have. So to all of the new subscribers, thank you. It's nice to see you, nice to meet you. And I hope we have a good gardening season this year. If you guys want to watch any of my other content, I'll pop a video up here in the corner for you to enjoy until my next upload. But until then, happy gardening, guys. The scapes come your way.